Jaron.
Yes.
Are you going to say my name? I said yours.
Is it James or Alexander? James Alexander.
You've now officially doxed me to all of the internet.
Okay. Alex.
I just laughed way too hard. I probably destroyed the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a diaphragm in there, in the microphone.
So you're saying it won't get pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
don't worry about, getting too much spit on it, on all that body fluid on the microphone, because it's okay to do that.
I probably shouldn't actually spit in this direction, though.
Yeah.
So how are you today?
I'm good, just a lot on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. There's just a lot of emptiness.
Okay, because I was going to say, usually when somebody says there's a lot on their mind, they typically follow it up with the things that are on their mind.
Yeah, no, just not a whole lot,
Okay.
I'm thinking about, doing a new podcast.
Interesting.
And wanted to know maybe if you wanted to do one together, to do it, to make a podcast together.
First, congratulations on finishing that. That was impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were going to make it through. But, it's interesting you approached me with this idea because, one, I'm flattered, and two...
I don't think you are, dude. Listen, I've been there, and I dude, it's a hard place, but no, you do not look that way. I don't think you've looked like you've gained any weight at all.
You're confusing the word flattered with fatter.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, I mean, let's be honest. I probably put on a couple pounds. Baby weight will do that to you. I had my son about 11 years ago, but it's about time it started catching up.
Yeah.
But on the note of the podcast, I have a feeling we're doing it right now.
Oh.
If you look there.
Oh.
In here.
Dude, when did you...
That's crazy.
Oh.
It's not even mine.
Okay. What's this guy's name?
Michael.
Michael. Okay.
Michael the microphone.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is Heil. Probably shouldn't do that. I'll probably get canceled.
Oh, no.
It literally is Heil, though.
Heil. Like
Kyle. Kyle and Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And
sorry for spearheading.
Yours is kind of short and stubby. That's kind of like Kyle.
But it does have a red tip. I'll mute that out so they don't hear the microphone moving.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we could start now just because it looks like we're kind of already set up. I feel like maybe, our life has just kind of been a podcast for a while, and we just kind of morphed over time to this point now where we're just in a podcast.
Yeah.
Naturally, the cameras just kind of showed up.
It just occurs. It's
Kyle and Mike just kind of started. They're just hanging around. We thought they were just over there, vaping, eating a sub sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
But they're actually, they're here to do a podcast. So
I find it very interesting that you've personified these microphones and given them character. Just to reiterate that you're asking me to be on a podcast with you, which we are currently doing now. So let's break the fourth wall. Let's have a serious conversation about it. And let's tell the people at home that this is an episode of a podcast that you've probably not seen. And we're here developing an idea together.
Exactly. So what just because I'm a little behind right now.
Okay.
What is the name of this podcast?
To my knowledge, we do not have one. We just stated to the folks at home, the microphones just appeared, as did the camera.
Okay, so we've only named the microphones. We haven't named the podcast. Gotcha.
Correct.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, it could be the Kyle and Michael podcast.
I'm a little behind right now. I'm off today. I kind of slept in, so Alex is catching me up. Sorry for wasting your time with that.
Can I ask you something? Yeah. On the note of sleeping in, I find it to be an odd phenomena. When I have my day off.
Phenomena is multiple phenomenon. So it's just a phenomenon.
Well, it's occurred many times in my life.
Okay, phenomena. Yeah.
So this one phenomena, which is a collection of phenomenon,
subphenomena,
has occurred many times in my life. And it's interesting because when I know that I'm off and I don't have work and I don't have plans in the morning and no schedule to wake up for, I tend to stay up way later than I would any other night, and I completely defeat the purpose of sleeping in. Yes, I do sleep later, but it's not good quality sleep because it destroys the rest of my week, and I'm just off.
So it's like you're basically sleeping in is just paying off your sleep debt as opposed to like actually saving up some sleep. It's kind of like when you finally get out of debt with your credit cards, and then you go to like, Best Buy or something, and you buy that new TV with a Best Buy credit card, and then you pay off the credit card with money that you earned.
Right.
You're just paying off debt. You're not really saving money versus if you save the money first. But really, if you think about it, all you did in that case, you did the same thing. You paid the same amount of money and saved the same amount of money over the same amount of time, but you got to use the TV sooner.
So to answer your question,
Yeah.
neither of those things were accomplished in my life. I do not have a new TV. I have not paid off my debt. Technically, there's 3 things. And I also didn't catch up on my sleep for the week.
Oh,
so
okay.
What happens to me is I will make this grand plan of enjoying my evening, right? And I'm like, it's fine. I'll wake up in the morning tomorrow. I'll sleep in. But I have this guilt complex of sleeping in extremely late comparatively to when I would normally wake up. So I find myself getting less sleep on my days off than I would on a day that I wouldn't plan to sleep in. And I'm using finger quotations for folks at home. What are your thoughts on that, Jaron?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think it's not that uncommon. I think it kind of is a little bit of a personal problem. It's a little bit mental.
Ouch.
Are
you calling me mental or the concept?
Well, you're mental. The concept doesn't have a mind of its own.
Yeah, and microphones don't have names yet. Here we are.
Yeah, they do. It's literally on the side. Like, it's such an obvious name. It's written on the mic.
Okay, that is true. They have brand names, but
is your name written on yourself?
No.
Yeah.
You're not proving your point.
There's a name on it.
But not on myself.
Yeah. So this is even more of a name than Alex.
Right. I was referring to Michael and Kyle that were
I know they're right.
mentioned.
They're right here with us. They know about their names.
True.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just kiss the mic at home for everybody.
Okay, that's
not
a
Jared,
little,
just to clarify.
Okay. Hopefully Kyle's okay with that. So
He's all fired up.
Oh, okay. So anyway, your day off, and what are you doing? Today's your day off?
Today is my day off.
Okay, so what are we gonna?
Hence the filming of said unnamed podcast.
What are we gonna name this podcast? Because we can't call it unknown. There's probably already an unknown podcast. Plus, that's just kind of lazy, right?
Yeah, it's unoriginal. It's been done before. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I just snapped for everybody at home. I don't want to give a audio companion piece to everything that I do visually for those that don't see, but that one felt important to me. How can we call it Z-Snap?
Z-Snap, like a.
Yeah.
You do the snap at the end of the Z?
You do it for each point of the Z. Yep.
But
so
that's
the start, 2, 3, 4.
I feel like nobody does it 4 though.
You have to.
I feel like they do 3.
Nah. Here's what's interesting. A Z has 3 lines, right? But every
4 points.
effective Z point that I've ever seen, which does have 4 points, is snapped like that.
Huh.
It's just interesting.
I feel like you kind of have to be like a diva, kind of like a popular chick, to do that, right?
Yeah.
From like 2004 or something.
Yeah. It's probably more appropriate for movies like Bring It On,
or
where
like
cheerleaders had their
like
competitions.
Mean Girls or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have an idea for a name, to be very honest with you. I don't think we had discussed a name because we figured it would be best to discuss it amongst ourselves, which we're doing here now. So hit me with some ideas, Jaron. What do you got?
Well, what's trendy right now?
TikTok.
Oh, yeah. But, I don't want to get sued by the CPC. What is it? The
CDC?
CCP.
Are you referring to the government agency that oversees disease control?
No, China. Chinese
CCP.
Communist Party.
Yeah.
CCP.
CCP. Not to be confused with PCP, which is a drug, or PSP, which is a vintage gaming device, and we can say that now.
Yeah.
It is vintage.
Or CPC, which is a place where I got married one time.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah.
Or ICP, which is the Insane Clown Posse, which is a band that was oddly popular. I never listened to them.
ICP, okay. ICP at certain times of the day. So
yeah, I do as well. Much more than others.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah. Well, that's probably just a matter of aging. And what should we call the podcast?
Well, on that note, my first idea, just off the cuff, frequent urination.
Oh, where did that come from? We weren't even talking about that.
Well, we were. You said ICP a couple times a day, and I said I do more than others. And now really
I was just talking about I see the letter P random places.
Right, ICP visibly.
Like urine.
I go to the bathroom a lot, Yeah. I drink a lot of liquid. So
Yeah.
What do you think of the name?
ICP?
No.
Or no, frequent urination.
Or either. Sure.
Yeah, frequent urination. I don't want to alienate anybody. I know there are people out there who struggle with, what are those
Bladder control.
venereal diseases of the bladder?
I think you just hit the nail on the head by describing it. See, that's the thing about describing things.
UTI, it's like an ICP of the bladder.
UTI.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Jawas. They probably, being over there in the sand with all the wind, you had some UTIs just flying around out there. They're easy to catch.
You get some sand up in that track.
And, we learned from Mando season 2 that they were, let's just say, compatible with humans. So
Did we learn that? Did I miss that?
I don't know, but...
well, there was an attraction. I don't know
one of them dated Pelly.
Right. I don't know if they're compatible in the physical sense. I'm sure
she kind of acted like they were.
Right, but they cannot make offspring.
We really... Listen, there hasn't been enough solid science about the anatomy of the Jawas.
Yo, can I just put it on the record that as we're talking about Star Wars, I'll let you see this first, but I'm going to show it to the folks at home. But my cap looks like the Empire logo. It's pretty wild.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Which is basically just like a octagon with notches.
Yeah, I mean, that really is what it looks like.
Yeah. So but it's cool. It stands the test of time. So
yeah, it's very iconic. Now, I do have an idea because of what we just talked about.
Okay.
Another name for you.
Yeah.
Compatible Jawas.
Compatible Jawas.
Will we have copyright issues?
Yes.
Man. I take it you're not?
Well, I think we should just evaluate both of our bank accounts first.
Okay.
And then make that assessment.
Okay.
So, and get back to me on that. So, in 7 to 10 business days.
I will. Hey, can you entertain the folks at home while I take a sip of water?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I feel like, we kind of want to, on this podcast, we kind of want to be, we just want to be real with y'all. And, kind of genuine.
Yeah.
And
that is the intent.
We're not here just to like entertain you. There are a lot of other people do that. We want to have a conversation with you.
Right, but
we want to talk about
entertaining them through genuine conversation.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And we want to like talk about the things of life, but talk about the funny side of it, or put a funny spin on just things that we're going through, or just things about life that are just kind of funny or a little bit awkward,
Right. So it's a funny spin.
Yeah.
Could be an idea.
Yeah.
You're not laughing.
But you can't have an accent in a podcast name. Like when people just read the name, they're not going to know the accent.
Yeah, well, if they're frequent listeners, they will.
Yeah, but
they'll tell their friends, it's a funny spin.
But what about like the period of time where we don't have frequent listeners and we're trying to get new ones?
Then that's on them. Let's be honest. Genuine conversation.
They need to have accent fonts. That's on you. You know what I mean? They need to have accent fonts.
I've always wondered why there isn't. How do you stylize somebody going, it's a pizza pie?
Yeah.
Other than the word asterisk?
You can put like but you could put, but you don't want to do that in a podcast name.
Right.
You could put an exclamation point. You could put the little, what are those little things called that you put on like Spanish letters? Like the little dots or the little squigglies.
I would assume that they're Spanish stamps.
Yeah.
Because they're letters.
Oh, yeah.
I actually don't know what those are called.
They probably have like the king of Mexico on there.
Right. Do they still have a king?
I don't know. Who's Oscar de la Hoya?
That's the name I'm not familiar with.
Okay. If it's not him, then I don't think they have a king.
Okay.
But
is it Pedro Pascal?
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be the king of Mexico at this point.
Yeah.
This might be offensive.
Yeah, it might be, but I don't think it really is because we love Mexicans.
Right, but we don't know if he is. He could be Puerto Rican. He could be.
He might not even be Hispanic at
Right.
all.
He could be Libyan.
Oh, from Libya?
That's what Libyans are, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying anything's possible. We're just
Technically,
having an
yes.
open, genuine
Yeah.
discussion. We don't expect to be
I'm
held
sorry.
accountable for our words.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Yeah.
Listen,
That was
we don't
cool
need
of
to be
me.
held accountable.
No. Nobody does.
Nobody does, because we're genuine good people.
Yeah.
Right.
We
That's what
won't-
genuine good people
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. You're judged off your good intentions these days. You're
Right.
definitely not just canceled for no reason.
That's another idea. We could call it good
So-
intentions.
Yeah. I don't know if that's unique enough, though.
Whoa, but what about good attentions? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Good attentions.
I mean, I get the wordplay, but I just don't really get what it means.
It doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Let's go on.
We could do a little bit of a play on our intelligence.
We could. There's not much intelligence to play on, but I think it's a
Well,
viable option.
I know what's really trendy right now is what's that called? Fake smarts. No.
Fake smarts, deep fakes.
No. Fake intelligence. Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
AI,
Uh-huh.
some people call it. And
That is also the initials for one of our favorite albums of all time. American Idiot.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Dude, we could just call ourselves American Idiots, you know?
We are Green Day fans here.
We are.
And a lot of who we are came from, our parents, but also Green Day.
Yeah,
So,
mostly our parents,
Yeah.
genetically
yeah,
speaking.
especially that.
Mostly
But,
that.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
I know we're kind of into some AI stuff. It's kind of popular right now. Not that we're into it because it's popular or that we want it, but it we definitely are into. I guess we're fascinated by it. Whether it's good or bad for society. We're
Yeah.
kind of like fascinated by it, right?
It's so interesting to me that we're all on board with feeding this machine to give it ideas so we don't have to continue to have ideas of our own. I mean, that is the end goal, is it not?
It is, but I think there's a good and bad way to use it. Like, for instance,
For sure.
for me, like, I think there's a lot of people out there that are just being lazy. Like, there's a lot of
Right.
people that are just using it to be lazy and not being original. And I think,
Right, like making a podcast in 2023.
yeah, exactly. Because we are AI.
Well, I mean, in theory, everything we know is crafted by this artificial world around us. I'm mostly just making nonsense at this point. You can continue.
That's all good.
You're
So,
used to
like,
it.
I think, like, for me anyway, I've gotten into it a little bit. I do a lot of freelance marketing and media stuff, and like, I struggle a lot with just outputting enough content and being productive enough. And I think there's a lot of times where my brain is just not in a place to be making the connections I needed to make.
Okay.
And coming up with new ideas. So it's not always that I use it to generate new ideas. It's that I use it to just get my brain to think. So like I will use it like sometimes I just can't even get words out. Sometimes I can't even just think about words because I'm just creatively exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I do think that's a symptom of the times, though. The overload from technology, has really put us in an interesting position to where I don't believe our brains quite function the same way. So it is very hard for us
Yeah.
to isolate ourselves and to sit down and focus and come up with something creatively or intelligently.
Well,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I do see it as an assistive tool, and I think it's actually really nice for just like spitballing rather than having
Right.
someone to brainstorm with.
Yeah.
You brainstorm with the
Exactly.
AI,
That's
right?
why I use it. I don't use it to create things for me. I use it just to,
Yeah.
it's kind of like House on the show House MD. He had a team of doctors, and a lot of times he would come up with the diagnosis, but he just needed them to kind of like just generate some ideas and just get the ball rolling and stuff. I mean, they served more of a purpose than that, but they were important to him because he couldn't think of all that stuff on his own.
Right.
But anyway, so like I know that for me, like I just I need that, and I think what you're saying about like technology, I think that our brains definitely work differently now, but I don't think
sure.
I don't think it's just because all content is bad. I think like most of the content out there is short content. You get on Instagram, and I love Instagram, not dissing at all. Just any social media, you're flipping through things quick, and it just releases a lot of that dopamine. And so we just want it faster and faster. And so that's one great thing about podcasts that I have really come to appreciate is like it's long form content.
Right.
And so you're
do
not
appreciate
getting
it as
that
well, too.
dopamine release.
You keep saying that word, and I was under the impression that that was illegal. Isn't that like a stage 1 narcotic?
Yeah, I think it's like a stage 1.5 now. They've kind of lowered it a little
Wow.
bit, but they didn't want to go to a stage 2.
De-escalation.
Yeah. So,
If that's an appropriate word.
Well,
I
yeah.
do know words. I will say that. On the note of intelligence and dopamine rushes and short attention spans, one thing that I find works very well in a crowd of people is saying words that impress them.
Yeah.
Whether you know what the word means or not.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
I think it catches people
it's a
off
good
guard.
point.
You know, if we're living in an era where people's attention spans are shorter, they typically don't hear words that are more
Like common, like everyday speak.
well, like words that are longer and consist of more syllables, you know?
Oh, they don't hear those words.
Yeah, so throwing one out in a conversation like superfluous, like I don't know what it means, but I'll say it like Jaron, man, those shoes are superfluous, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of forget what superfluous means.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's an actual word.
I think it is.
It might be.
It might be.
Superfluous.
Yeah.
So what are some names that come to mind for you if you're thinking in the podcast? Because I've suggested a lot.
Oh, okay. So I was kind of going down that way with artificial intelligence, you know,
Okay.
and kind of make a play on that, you know.
How so? What would you like to do with it? Do you like artificial? I think intelligence is a nice word to play off of.
I would like to keep the word intelligence, but change the word artificial to make it just like a play on that, but similar to the word artificial, but different.
Yeah, I could agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to sit and we'll brainstorm together. You know,
Yeah.
fartificial is
Fartificial,
pretty
yeah.
instantaneous.
Yeah, you know, I didn't think of that until you said it. Then I'm like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that?
But here's what's interesting. You do 3 words: fart, official, intelligence.
Yeah, fartificial intelligence.
Saying the idea out loud, though,
Yeah,
I'm not sold,
yeah.
but we are brainstorming
But
here.
you're also not a slave, so
True.
you can't be.
True.
You know, so, and absolutely no disrespect to anyone at all of any nature or person.
Right.
that they
You're just
create.
stating that as an individual, for me to be sold, I would have to be someone's property, which I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for
Property
that. I'm
might
grateful
have
for
been the
that.
better choice there. So,
Yeah.
words.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. So, I don't know. You know, like a lot of times I'll come up with a word for the, of an idea, but it's like, it could be offensive. You know, like I was thinking for us, like autistic intelligence.
Right. I think that would probably
Because, like-
isolate ourselves from a lot of viewers.
But like we don't have anything against autistic people. We love
No.
autistic people. I'm
Right.
a close family member with special needs, and but I think sometimes you and I can have autistic tendencies, but we're not.
For sure.
We don't know that we're on the spectrum, so we can't appropriate that type of that neurodiversity.
Right. Here's the interesting thing, though. I think the discussion has been had amongst highly regarded and lauded scientists of their time that everyone's probably on the spectrum somewhere. You're smiling. You know that was funny. That was a good accent.
Yeah.
I mean, the discussion is had that is everybody slightly autistic to some degree. Now, back to what you were saying.
I think it's kind of like how everyone's lactose intolerant to some degree.
Oh, dude, I just came up with a really cool idea. I was going to make a joke. Autistical intelligence. Then I thought acoustical intelligence, acoustic intelligence. These are all just words.
Oh yeah, dude, you're. I think you're a better idea person. I am. I think you can just kind of just spit out the ideas quicker. But I like just overthink them so I don't say them. But but
you put me on a path. You know, you're like my father.
Yeah.
You're like you're not. For those who don't know, Jaron and I have known each other for a long time. Oh, and actually, on the note of coming up with names, I want to tell a story to the podcast.
Okay, let's hear it. I'm
Don't
not
stay.
worried at all.
Okay. This kind of goes back to how we met each other, too. And maybe this will come up in another episode where we can delve into it a little bit more. But Jaron and I met when we were 12 years old, 11 years old.
I was 11, yeah, in
So I would have been
6th
12.
grade.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you had just turned 12.
Yeah, because you came in
I came in
January.
January, yeah.
Yep, Jaron came in the last semester of my 6th grade year, where we went to an elementary school that was kindergarten through 6th grade, which, finding out now in our later life, apparently that's unconventional. I guess normally there's middle schools that are 6th through 8th grade.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, or or an intermediate school for 5th to 6th grade. But yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Either way, we were unconventional. We did pretty much grow up in a cornfield. None of this is relevant, but we did meet at that age where he was 11 and I had just turned 12. Jaron was a new kid at school, and I think there was something in me as a child that carried over into my adult life where I like to be friends with people. And, some would say it's a weakness, some would say it's a strength, but either way, I wanted to make sure that Jaron, as a new kid at school, felt that he could make friends with all of us. And one of the things that we did, I think probably one of your first couple days there, we were just like talking about things that we were into and things that we like to do. And I think Jaron had mentioned graphic design.
Did I?
I think you did.
I'm not sure I remember that, but yeah.
So do you remember this story and where I'm going?
Not really.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is a refresher for me.
I'll make this as quick as I can because this is a podcast with two of us, but I do want to tell this story.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned your interest, and I had mentioned that I like creative stuff. I like writing, I like drawing, and I like music and all that stuff. And you're like, well, I can do graphic design. We could like maybe do something cool together. And we had assembled a couple other students that you were becoming friends with just through the nature of meeting all of us.
They were more so just muscle than anything.
Right. Which we didn't really need for this product that we were designing.
No, but but back in those days, you could just hang out and you were in. If you were cool, you were in the club.
So we had our friends, Brian and Zach, and I think we all collectively came up with this concept of a T-shirt company. And Jaron was going to design the logo, and we were going to call it Jaws. Is this ringing a bell?
Yeah, the T-shirt company.
Yeah.
Oh my
We haven't talked about this in
no, we haven't.
Probably since it happened.
Yeah. Like
so
we have talked about almost every memory we could ever imagine over the years.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've ever talked. I didn't even remember this, and I'm not making this up. We're not just playing off it, for the show. Like I legit, and that was 20 years ago.
It was. And do you remember what the letters stood for?
It was our names, maybe.
Yes.
Jaron, Alex.
I don't want to dox them, but a thing that you wear on your head to replace your lack of hair.
Oh, a toupee.
Right, but it starts with a W, so
okay,
a toupee.
Okay,
wigs.
Yeah.
And our other friend, Sigmund. So we took our first initials.
Oh, that's Zach. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what had happened is we couldn't find an anagram that would work to where it would make a cool word unless we did that. So I'm sorry if I doxed you guys. They probably have better lives to where they don't need to worry about strangers chasing them down over the internet. Either way, what do you think of now that you know that we've been pioneering business ideas and creative expressions for all this time?
Well, that's pretty awesome. We've done a lot of projects together.
We have.
And I think if this podcast, if people decide they like it, then it might be, the first 20 years later, we'll find some success kind of a thing, a 20-year-long success story. But no, I'm just kidding around. We've done some other stuff that's been maybe not like successful on a huge level, but we had some good times,
But it was creative, and we did use our own artificial intelligence.
Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't even remember that. Like, yeah, we were gonna. I don't even remember like some of the ideas we came up with, but we were gonna do t-shirts. I don't know how we thought we were gonna do that. Like, where were we gonna get? Like, even then, back then, 20 years ago, you didn't just have like now you can just like order stuff online and all that. Like, how in the world were we gonna make t-shirts?
I don't know. I think there's something about being young and having ambition and wanting to chase dreams, which is funny because here we are in our 30s and wanting to be ambitious about something that's creative and not really having a plan of how to get there, but we're just gonna do it. To be fair, we do have access to more things now as adults than we would have.
And
back then.
Probably have expanded our intelligence by 1 to 2%.
Expanded intelligence.
Yeah, it's kind of like the expanded universe, but not as canonical.
Right. I'm trying to think of a word that plays off artificial. The whole time we're talking, I don't know if you are too, and it's like unofficial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Artificial unintelligence.
Artificial unintelligence. Yeah.
Official unintelligence.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. Well,
I like where we're going with this artificial intelligence thing.
What's the opposite of artificial? Natural unintelligence.
maybe, but
Dude.
like artificial intelligence, just good old fashioned intelligence,
Dude, I'm serious. Natural unintelligence has a really nice, really nice,
naturally unintelligent, natural unintelligence.
Yeah. I mean, it refers to the fact that we're human and we're flawed and we're stupid.
Yeah.
It's an idea.
Intelligence. I like it.
Well, if this is still rolling, I suppose we should probably say goodbye to whoever's watching.
Sounds good.
And if the video cuts out for any reason, we might have a really nice portrait of Jaron and I doing a stepbrothers pose over it instead.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or like just play the video up until that point and then just freeze frame it for the rest of the episode. That'd be funny.
Right, just to trip them out, make them think that their internet's broken, but that's not how the internet actually works.
Well, it did back in the day, so.
True.
But okay, we're signing off, and we don't even have a sign off. So
No, we don't, and that's kind of a beautiful thing, isn't it?
it is. So
No pressure.
We could just stare awkwardly into the camera as a sign off.
We could. I'm going to wave to the folks at home just because it's nice.
Okay, I'll wave to him too.
Nice.
Because otherwise I'm going to feel bad if I don't. Now that you did it, it'd be awkward. You put me in that position. So.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
And thank you.
Your thank you.